Hey guys, today we have Saurabh and he's having 2 years of experience as a full stack developer. And those who want to give same free mock interview, please fill out the form below in the description. So now let's get started. Hey, hello, hi Saurabh.
Hi, Faizan.
Shall we start?
Yeah, please, sure.
Okay, can you please introduce yourself and your recent project in brief?
Yeah, actually, my name is Saurabh Kumar Jha. Currently, I'm
Mm-hmm.
having 2 years experience as a full stack developer.
Okay.
In front end, we are using Angular, and back end side like Spring Boot, and microservices.
Uh-huh.
And currently, I'm working on a banking domain project.
Okay.
So basically, we are dealing with the payment and payment fraud, like whatever fraud payments are reported
Okay.
on the monthly, quarterly, and semi-annual basis.
So have you used ArrayList in your project?
What do you think?
ArrayList,
Ah,
ArrayList.
yeah. We are using the array list because see, like when
Uh-huh.
when we are fetching the data from the database, so either
Mm-hmm.
we can use Hibernate or Spring JDBC, right? So
Okay.
basically we are using both. So
Mm-hmm.
once we are fetching the data, it will give the list, right? List of the data.
Okay.
So yeah, so we are using the array list in that case.
Okay.
Mm.
And linked list,
Yeah, linked list we are not using, like we are using the list, right?
you are
So
using the list only.
yeah, so
Can you
list.
tell me the difference between array list and linked list?
Yeah, so basically array list and linked list both are
Mm-hmm.
implementation of the list only.
Mm-hmm.
List is the implementation of the array list is the implementation of list. So
Mm-hmm.
basically in array list it uses the index based for
Okay.
data, right? So in that, like, and the linked list basically it store the data in the node format.
Node format.
Yeah,
Okay.
node format.
In what scenarios would you prefer one over the other?
Suppose if we want to like insert the data in the middle of the
Mm-hmm.
data, so that time linked list will be preferable because
Okay.
if we store the data in the linked list, then we have to
Mm-hmm.
shift the element, right? So but in the linked list, don't need to shift it. We just point the node. So
Okay. Okay. So can you explain the concept of Java collection framework?
yeah, so Java collection framework basically use with the like when we have large volume of data,
Mm-hmm.
something like, then we use the like collection framework. Collection
Uh-huh.
framework gives us the data structure like
Okay.
list, we can use map, tree set, all we can use. So,
Uh-huh.
yeah, so inbuilt methods it has, so we can use that one for working
Okay.
with a large volume of data.
Okay. So what are the major collections we have?
Yeah, we have like list, we have map.
List.
Yeah, list, map, set. Map is not basically like implementing the map, like extending the map. Collection.
Mm-hmm.
It's a part of the collection framework, but it's not
Okay. Okay.
extending. Yeah,
Okay.
and
Okay, okay. So, Saurav, before moving ahead, I will like to share one important thing. Hey guys, if you are not able to crack your interviews, then you can check our interview preparation kit. It has helped thousands of candidates in cracking their interviews. In this, we give the job support and referrals as well. So basically, this kit has 4 parts. The first part is complete interview preparation material. This contains 16 documents, step by step, with practice quizzes, where all the content is organized and available in one place. The second part is 2 real enterprise projects, one based in Sweden and the other in the USA. There will be video explanation, prototype source code, PDF documents, and quizzes for each project. If someone already has projects, then they can take this as a reference and prepare accordingly. And the third part is 7 days of chat support for all your doubts on projects, preparation material, or any other guidance. Don't believe me, just go and check out the reviews. Okay, and the fourth part is job support and referrals for the deserving candidate. So I have provided the link to get this in the description. So now moving to our interview. So Saurabh, as we were discussing about collection framework, can you give me an example where you have used a hash set and a scenario where a tree set is more appropriate?
so has set if you're not maintaining the order of the data,
Uh-huh.
so that time we can use the like has set. But if we
Uh-huh.
want to use the sorted data in the sorted format, then
Uh-huh.
use the tree set. Tree set will be the ideal use case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So have you used tree set in your project?
No, we are not using tree set.
Okay.
We are mostly working with the like list and the map.
Okay.
Yeah,
List and map.
yeah.
Okay. What's the uses of map?
So basically in the map we use the key value pair.
Mm-hmm.
So in our project, like suppose for country. right? For
Mm-hmm.
India and other country, we have the country codes for particular
Mm-hmm.
country. So we are using the map in that case. Like we are storing country name as a key and the country
Mm-hmm.
code as a value. So in that case, we are using the map relationship.
Okay, okay. Okay. Yeah, moving ahead. What's the purpose of the final keyword?
So final keyword, if we like final having multiple uses,
Uh-huh.
with class we can use, with method we can use, and with
Mm-hmm.
variables we can use. So if we use final with the class, then we can't extend it. So that will be
Okay.
constant class. And if we like same use with the variables in the method, we use it
Uh-huh.
variables, so we can't change it. That is the constant value. Same with the methods as well. So
Okay. What will happen with the methods? What did you say? I didn't get it.
one thing, I think for method we don't need to use it. I think variables we can use it, and with
Okay.
the class, yeah.
But we can use for methods as well, I think.
Yeah. So if we're using final with the method, then we can't override it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't override.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. So how does Java achieve polymorphism?
So polymorphism, like one method can have like one entity can have multiple forms, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there are like two forms of like polymorphism.
Mm-hmm.
First, runtime polymorphism and the compile time
Mm-hmm.
polymorphism. So runtime basically the method overriding. So that happens between the parent class and the child class,
Uh-huh.
right? And the compile time polymorphism is method overloading. So it happens in the same class. So if
Uh-huh.
like changing the variables, like number of variables, right? So that is the compile time polymorphism.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So let's say if you have a method that takes a superclass type as a parameter. Okay.
Okay.
If you have a method that takes a superclass type as a parameter, can it work with objects of its subclass types?
Subclass types. If we're extending it, yeah, we can use.
Okay.
Suppose in the constructor, right?
Uh-huh.
If child class having the constructor, the parent
Okay.
class, so we can call the super in the then constructor in the method as well. So
Mm. Okay.
we can use.
Okay. Oh, okay. So, in your project, can you tell me few custom exception names,
Yeah,
custom error exception?
yeah, custom like SQL exception, like because we're dealing with the data. So yeah,
No, no,
SQL.
no. I'm saying custom exception.
Yeah, custom. Oh, okay, okay. Custom
Yeah.
exception. So basically, we are using the custom exception like our own exception. So we are
Mm-hmm.
creating like that we can use like something like account not found exceptions and the
Okay.
client not found exception. This type of custom
Mm.
exception we can create.
Okay. Okay. Fine. And what's the difference between checked and unchecked exception?
So checked exception and unchecked exception basically in
Mm-hmm.
checked exception it's a compile time. So
Uh-huh.
on the compile time it will show the error like we have to either throw it or we
Mm-hmm.
to handle it. And the unchecked exception basically the runtime exception. The exception will be thrown at the runtime. So
Okay.
few examples of checked exception we can say SQL exception, class not found
Mm-hmm.
exception, and runtime
Mm-hmm.
like null pointer array auto bound exception. These things.
Okay. 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 What's the importance of hash code and equals methods?
So hash code and equals like it hash code method used to like generate the hash code of the objects.
Uh-huh.
Equals used to check the two objects are equal or not. So
Okay.
suppose like in the case like when we deal with the internal working
Mm-hmm.
of the hash map, in that case like both methods getting used.
Have
So
you have you overridden these methods before?
yeah, like for my practice I have used, but in
Okay.
the project we are not directly using it. Like
Can you tell me a scenario where we should override these methods?
yeah, overall, suppose if we have the like map, right? In the
Mm-hmm.
map, like we are creating our own. Like suppose if we want to get the hash code of
Mm-hmm.
custom hash code, that time we can overwrite it in the model class or the entity class. We can say similarly,
Okay.
like yeah, if we want to like compare the two objects, like
Mm-hmm.
our own custom logic, that time we can use it.
How can we override? Like, can you tell me steps?
Yeah, in the model class or entity class.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to override like hash code method equals method. So
Mm-hmm.
henceforth we can like use our own custom logic inside that one, like on what basis, suppose ID or anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that we can use. Similarly, in the equals method, we can use our custom logic here also. Like we want to compare, like suppose if you have the two objects, we need to check whether it is equal or not. So that
Mm-hmm.
time, suppose ID is unique. So that time
Mm-hmm.
we take use of the ID. On the basis of ID, we can come. We want to compare both objects are equal or not. So suppose like it takes the object. So this
Mm-hmm.
dot ID equal to object dot ID. If both are equal, it means the objects are equal. If it is null, any object is null. If object is null,
Mm-hmm.
return just yeah. So in that case.
Okay.
Mm.
Can you please describe the synchronization in the context of multi-threading?
Yeah, so synchronize basically we use when the same resources,
Mm-hmm.
multiple threads want to access it. So
Okay.
in that case, like data inconsistency
Uh,
will happen. So
uh,
why this we use the synchronized keyword inside the particular block for the particular block of code. So
okay.
like so what will happen, like we use the synchronize and inside the parenthesis we can,
Mm-hmm.
if it is object, then we can use this or any locker we can use, and
Mm-hmm.
after that we can put the like block of code. And in the
Mm-hmm.
case of a static, the locker will be by default class name because it's not associated object. And
Mm-hmm.
we use this thing in the singleton. Yeah, while creating the singleton like class, we use this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's a singleton class?
Singleton, only one object will be created for the entire
Okay.
application.
So what's a scenario for using singleton class where
Uh,
we should use?
Suppose like in the Spring Boot as well, right? If we like auto-wiring the dog method, like dog class or the
Okay.
like service, so we have only single object. But we can use like as a prototype and other things. But in our project, we are using as a single object. So yeah.
Okay. So how would you handle a scenario where two threads need to update the same data structure?
So okay. So let's take example of, so for example, a stack data structure. So
Mm-hmm.
like a stack top index, if it is empty, like top index is
Mm-hmm.
+1. So that time what will happen? Like if we are like pushing the data and
Mm-hmm.
copying the data. So
Mm-hmm.
in that case, data inconsistency happen, index not found, like something -1 that can happen. So in that case, we can use the synchronized keyword. So and along with that, we can use the volatile keywords as well. So
Okay.
if one thread updates the data, so
Mm-hmm.
others will like immediately see like what is the changes. So
Okay. Okay. So what are the advantages of using Spring Boot over traditional Spring application?
yeah, so Spring Boot, the main reason is like auto configuration. It gives the auto configuration.
Mm-hmm.
So auto configuration means basically like if we are using Hibernate, right, with a Spring, so we
Mm-hmm.
have to do a lot of configurations. Like
Mm-hmm.
like we create I think resource inside that meta-inf and persistence.xml file. So you need a lot of configuration. But in the Spring Boot, we don't need to like do it. It does automatically all these things. And also like it provides a standalone application we can create, like rapid application
Mm-hmm.
building. So all these things provided by Spring
Okay.
Boot. And
So
in
have you created any application by using this traditional Spring?
yeah, I have used
So
like
how
in,
did you create the server?
yeah, we have to we need to add the Tomcat server or JT, like whatever we want. So we have to first add the dependency of that one. Then we can configure the applications for the I mean beans. We can declare the beans in the like XML or the configuration thing, like activate component, all these things we can do. But we have to do the lot of configuration in Spring.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've used it long back. Yeah, right
Hmm.
now we're using the Spring Boot.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Can you explain the dependency injection principle in Spring?
Yeah, dependency injection, like if we don't want to handle the objects by
Mm-hmm.
ourselves, we want to
Mm-hmm.
give this thing to Spring. That is the like in that case, what will happen? We will first create the beans, like we'll mention @bean annotation in the configuration. Or other thing is like @service component and repository views. So that time, what it will like scan the all the classes. It will tell Spring like create the object of all these classes, and then like when we need it, then we can auto wire this thing. So that will be loosely coupled, so it will not be tight coupled. So we
Okay.
can inject it in wherever we want to use it.
Hmm. Okay. Can you describe the Spring Security Framework?
Yeah, Spring Security, basically when we want to do like authentication authorization,
Hmm.
that time we used to take use of the Spring Security.
Okay.
So should I explain like how to implement it as well?
What?
Like should I explain how to implement it as well?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, explain how would you secure REST API endpoint?
Uh, okay. So first thing like we have to do like we have to add the security like dependency, and
Okay.
if we want to use a JWT, then we can
Hmm.
add the JWT like dependency as well.
Hmm.
Then the second thing will be we can create the model class,
Okay.
and that will implement the user details interface, uh,
Hmm.
right? And in that there are multiple methods like is account expired, the simple granted authority, all these things. So
Hmm.
we can give our implementation and authorization. If you want to do authorization, then we can create the enums of roles like the things, and then we can create our own custom class that
Hmm.
will implement the user details service interface, and that having the methods load user by username, right? So that will give the username like if you want to fetch from the database, and then we can create our security config.
Hmm.
So for the JWT, so for JWT, we can create the methods like extracting all the claim generating token and account expired, all these things methods we can create.
Hmm.
And also like one thing we can do after that, we need to create the filter, because filter
Okay.
is like before going to the controller, like
Hmm.
first filter will do the authentication, all these things. So
Yes, yes, yes.
inside it, we need to like validate the token, everything. And then if user is valid, then we can go forward. Otherwise, it will be returned back. And
Hmm.
yeah, and then similar, then one class we can create like security config. Another class we need to like register our filters,
Hmm.
like ant matchers we can use for which user we want to give the authentication and authorization, all these things. So there we can declare it. So this is
Okay.
the process.
Hmm.
Actually, I have used in my current project like security.
Security. So
Yeah,
you have implemented from
yeah,
the scratch?
yeah. Actually, our there is an internal security framework that is built upon Spring Security only.
Oh,
So, yeah,
okay. Okay, nice, nice. So moving ahead, have you used Spring Data JP as well?
yeah, yeah. We are using it as Spring.
Can you explain like how can we integrate this?
Yeah, so first we need to add the dependency, Spring Data dependency in our pom.xml file.
Mm-hmm.
And then if we want to like uh, there are like two cases. If you want to create our own methods, like
Mm-hmm.
there is a inside the entity manager, we have the persist merge method, right? You want to use that one. That also we can use. Another thing is we can use the JPA repository. Like we can create the interface and that will extend the JPA repository.
Okay.
So this JPA repository provides all the multiple methods like save, find by ID,
Mm-hmm.
then delete by ID, all these things method provided. And we can create the custom methods as well there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you handle custom queries?
Custom queries like basically for custom queries, you are like somewhere we are using Spring JDBC and some
Mm-hmm.
places we are just Spring Data JPA. So if I take example of like Spring Data JPA, so in that case, like we inside the interface, we can declare the method, and
Mm-hmm.
like on top of that, we can use @ query annotation. So in that we can pass our query.
Have
If
you optimized any query before?
yeah, actually we like yeah.
How?
Actually, like, what was the case before, like, a few months back? What was
Mm-hmm.
happening, like, when we were fetching the data from the database? So it had around like 8 lakh records, and
Okay.
because of that, it was giving the socket time issue like that in like when we are calling the API, and
Mm-hmm.
also the heap memory auto bonds like error. So what we did, like, we did the partition, like limit by how many records we want to like get in single go. So like that, we did the partition. We can
Mm.
use the limit, all these things. Indexing we didn't use, but yeah, we can use the indexing.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Nice. And tell me a scenario where applying transactional annotation on a service method is important.
Yeah, in the service, we can use when we want transactional on the class, we can use on the type of methods we can use. So it will consider the whole method as a single like entity.
Okay.
So suppose you are dealing with the payment or anything, so that
Mm-hmm.
time we can use the transactional, because like if the transaction is completed, then only it will
Mm-hmm.
process the next, otherwise it will roll back.
Mm.
So in
Okay.
that,
Okay. So can have you used application? I mean, which one do you use, application YAML or properties file?
we are using the properties file.
Which one would you prefer?
We prefer the YML file.
Okay, so then why did you not?
It, actually, it was this project is from last 4 to 5 years. So
Uh,
they are using the properties file only. So we didn't change it.
okay, okay.
Yeah,
So what's the
YML.
benefit of using a properties file over YAML? Do we have any
So
benefit?
yeah, so in the YML file, basically we can reduce the number of lines of code. So here we follow the
Format
indentation.
is also
Yeah,
good.
yeah, indentation that we can
Mm.
say. Like Python, we have
And
indentation.
what's the benefit of using properties file?
Properties I would say like when developer is not comfortable, like in that case, like YML,
Yeah,
that time,
simple to use.
yeah, simple to use, like that
Yeah,
time is properties file.
okay. Have you worked with microservice architecture?
Yeah, for few months I have worked up on this.
Did you guys migrate to microservices or what?
No, that was the previous project, so it was already microservices.
Okay, okay. Uh, have you ever faced any challenges while working on microservices based
Uh,
project?
yeah, when you're using the like REST template,
Mm,
that time data, like sometimes I was getting the error in that case, like not
okay.
able to get the data and all these things. So yeah,
Mm,
actually I've worked only 2 or 3 months on the microservices.
okay.
Yeah.
Mm, okay. Okay. So are you familiar with any specific tools or practices for monitoring?
Yeah, we are using the Splunk for monitoring.
Splunk.
Yeah, Splunk we are
Do
using.
you know how to write queries in Splunk?
No, we are not doing this thing, Splunk. Like what we do, like suppose if we execute any endpoint,
Mm-hmm.
so like actually we deploy the code app engine. So
Mm-hmm.
integrate Splunk with the app engine, and once you execute it, it will show all the logs. Like
Mm,
you can see the logs and you can download it. So yeah,
okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay. And Grafana?
no Grafana
Grafana.
never used.
Okay. Okay. So how do you manage dependencies in a Maven project?
Dependency, like in the pom.xml file, like we can add the dependency, all the things, right? And we have the dependency management as well. So inside that, we can mention like our own configuration we can give,
Mm,
like which part has to like skip the some particular part. And if we want to do the
mm.
parallel jobs, that we can mention in the dependency management inside that.
Okay, okay. Okay, so how would you revert changes in a Git if you accidentally pushed a bug to the main branch?
So we can use the git revert command. So
Okay, so which editor you use, Eclipse or
no,
mm,
I use IntelliJ.
IntelliJ? Okay, is there any way to revert in IntelliJ?
Actually, I generally use commands
Okay, yeah, it's nice. Someone is using commands.
I
Uh,
think we can use from the file something I may
yeah, yeah, yeah.
git. There is a git thing right in the IntelliJ. From there
Uh,
we can use, but this thing I generally do with commands.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, it's good actually. We should use commands instead of using this tools specific things because tools may change, but command will not.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Mm, do you know about Git rebase?
Yeah. Git rebase basically, suppose our development branch is
Mm,
three like X command behind, like X commits behind the like suppose master branch. So that
mhm.
time we can use the git rebase command to rebase our branch.
Okay. What's branching strategies in your project?
So basically, branch STH we are following. We like the main uh, like there are multiple branches like master and deployment, deployed branch and the release branch and the development branch. So what we do, like we do the development in the dev branch, then we create the MR to the release branch, pointing to release branch, right?
Mm,
And someone like reviews it and then he approves it, and then we can merge that branch, release branch, into the like production branch and the master branch. That case. But the final code will be there in the release branch.
mm, okay.
Yeah. And
And you guys write unit test cases as well?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
What's the purpose of using unit testing in software development?
so basically, if you want to the particular want to test the particular methods, anything,
Uh-huh.
so
Uh,
that for that case we can use the unit test cases or the test like integration test cases. So that like in the like after the production or in the development phase only, if we
okay.
if we miss anything, that will create
Mm,
the issue. So to resolve this, we can use the right test cases so that we
okay.
won't face any issue.
So how do JUnit and Mockito helping unit testing in Java projects?
Yeah, we can use the first we need to add the dependency in the pom.xml file.
So what is JUnit? Do you know?
Yeah, JUnit basically library that we can use to write J like unit test cases.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead. So like how JUnit and Mockito helps writing unit test cases?
yeah. So first we'll add the dependency, and
Okay.
suppose if you want to create the test case for service class,
Mm-hmm.
so that time we can inject it like inject mocks we can use like in our test classes, and
Mm-hmm.
then the dependent class, all the classes inside that service class, we can use at the rate mock. Right? And then we can write the test case like mockito dot lenient dot when something will be then what will be
Have
like.
you used inject mocks annotation?
Yeah, inject mocks for the like suppose if you want to write the test cases for service class, so we can
Okay.
mention it as it inject mocks.
Hmm. Okay. So how do you ensure your code changes do not break existing functionalities?
So like do not break. Okay. So in that case, like for example, if we are using the like interfaces, right? So that time we can do this. Okay. So in that case, we can use the take of example solid principle.
Okay.
So yeah, so solid like single responsibility. First S is single responsibility, then O is like open and close. Uh, open sorry, yeah,
For
open close. Then
extension,
yeah, extension, yeah. Then the L is Liskov principle.
substitution
Yeah,
principle.
yeah, so yeah, the Liskov substitution principle. Then I is like related to interface, like I told,
Uh,
and like interface segregate principle, I think, yeah, and D dependency injection. So we can
yeah,
take
yeah.
help of all these things, solid principle in that
Hmm.
case.
Okay. Okay. So, Saurabh, I'm just going to share one coding question with you. Okay. And you have to do that by using Stream API. Would
Okay.
you be able to
Yeah.
use Stream API?
Yeah, we have used.
Okay. Yes. Share your screen. Meanwhile, and open any editor. And the question is, you have to find the factorial of an integer. Integer is given uh, by using this Stream API.
1 second, let me open my IntelliJ.
Yes, yes, correct.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, it's open now. So I'll share my screen. It is visible.
Not yet. Yeah, it's visible now.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay. So what is given like
you have to find the factorial of a number by using Stream API. Number, assume anyone, yeah, n is equal to 5, it's fine.
okay, and if we given we have
And
to
declare any long integer. For example, fact.
Okay, long times.
Oh, yeah, it's fine. I mean, declare another integer, long fact, something like that,
Okay,
and store the factorial of 5 to this variable.
okay. Suppose if initially it's 0, right? So,
Mhm.
actually, that case, um, something,
0 or 1,
is actually it will be initially it will be 1.
because you will be multiplying. Uh,
Uh, Actually, in that case, we can take use of range method in the stream something. I think
okay,
actually I've not used it before.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so write do by using recursion. I mean, don't use Stream API. Just do in a normal way, but by using recursion.
Yeah. So that thing we can do. Suppose okay. Let me create the method then. Actually, better we create the method.
Uh,
Okay, public long if you're using and the factorial. Right. Suppose if it is a long and so what we can do, like we have to use the factorial. Okay. So if suppose n equal to like 1, right? Or to 1, which is the base case actually. Or suppose one thing, instead of writing this thing, we can just return 1. Otherwise, we can return okay. So n into, like suppose if you're 5, then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. N into factorial of n minus 1. Right. So yeah, one can.
yeah, it's fine.
So basically, this thing we use as a base case. Like if n
Mm-hmm.
less than 1, then we can just return 1.
Mm-hmm.
And otherwise, we can return this one. Because
Mm-hmm.
it
Yeah,
actually,
it's
basically for that stream use case, like we can use the range method, but I have never used that one. I
yeah,
basically,
no worries. Just try after this interview.
uh, yeah, I'll try for
You
it.
can unshare your screen now.
Okay.